Good morning everybody. Today is going to be quite a busy day. I have to go to make a doctor's appointment and I have to cut off all this ugly mess. But before all that I have to wait for the subway to open because it's raining outside and I'm already wet. Also I want to tell a story how I almost didn't graduate from university. I guess I'm not the only one who's waiting. Can you see? So the whole thing started when I decided that I could finish my university in 2.5 years instead of 3. That meant that I had to take the second and the third year at the same time, which meant that I would just have to study a lot harder. But I hated my school, so I was willing to do that. So everything was ready for me to graduate at the end of January 2015. Although it was written in the school contract that I can graduate whenever I receive 180 credit points, but my university didn't really like the whole idea because that meant that they would lose approximately 2,000 euros if I graduate faster. So they weren't really interested in the whole thing. All the professors and the school board had already promised me that I would graduate at the end of January. So I had finished all my courses, written all my exams, and done my thesis movie. The day before my thesis presentation, I received an email telling me that I can't come to the presentation of thesis because I don't have enough credit points and the ones that I've gained are in a different module which apparently doesn't count. So in simple words, they just found a way to fuck me. Oh, and the subway seems to be open, so let's just go somewhere else. Today's Sunday, so I don't even know if the barber or the doctor's office is gonna be open. Let's see though. Okay, so the doctor's office is closed, so the next stop is the barber shop. Okay, so this is the new hair. The guy trusted me to get the money from the ATM while I left my stuff there. The stupid cash machine doesn't have any money, so I can't have to find another ATM anywhere around this place. And I'm fucking cold. So, what the fuck just happened? So basically I went to the barber, we made a super awesome video of how he cuts off all the ugly mess on my head, and then while I was trying to get the money to pay him, while I was running around doing the whole ATM thing, his boss calls and asks him to delete all the footage. So he had to take my camera and delete every single video that he was in or the whole barbershop was in. Oh man, I mean he did such a good job. Oh well, I still like my haircut though. Last thing we still have to do before we can finally go home is to make one time-lapse video that I've found an awesome place for. Okay, now we can go home. Also, I think I finally stopped giving a fuck about vlogging in public, which I think is a good progress. Alright, so I'm back home, I'm warm, I'm fed, and I'm ready to continue the story about how I almost didn't graduate. Yeah, so basically I received an email telling me that I cannot come to the presentation of my thesis, which means that if I can't present the movie to my professors, that means I can't graduate. I'll be honest, I was devastated. I was so fucked up. I've never felt worse in my life. I studied the double amount that I should have, and I was just ready to graduate and leave Estonia already, and then they tell me that I'm not gonna graduate. So I panicked. I was crazy. I didn't know what to do. I'll be honest, I even had tears on my face. The end is here. That's it. Like, I can't go back. I can't take another semester in that school. I'm just done. I don't know what to do anymore. Should I just drop out? So I told my dad about it, and he invited me to have breakfast with him the next morning. So we went to this local cafe and we had nice breakfast, and my dad told me not to worry about it, and if I need to stay in school, he'll try to support me. And right after I calmed down, I received a text message from my professor, and the text message said, "You're alright to present your movie today, we fixed the problem, we'll see you at 2 o'clock. And I was like, what the fuck? To get from Riga to Estonia will take me 4.5 hours, and it's 12 o'clock already. So there's no way I could show up in Estonia to present my movie in 2 hours. So I told my professor that I can't make it and we should reschedule the date. So they rescheduled the whole date to 2 weeks later, and I got some extra time to edit the whole thing. So 2 weeks later, I went back to school and presented the movie that I made about the biggest social network in Latvia. I'll link the movie here. The movie's in Latvian, but it has English subtitles, so if you're interested, you can watch it. After presenting the movie, I could totally see that all the professors were not impressed at all. In my opinion, I think that's the biggest thing I've ever made, but probably it wasn't big enough for their standards. So after presenting, they told me that I can grab a cup of coffee and come back in 2 hours and they'll tell me the grade. So if I get at least an E from A, B, C, D, E, F, then I would pass and I would graduate my school. If it's an F, then I would still have to stay the whole semester there. So I went outside, had a little walk, had the coffee, and I was shaking all the time because they were just sitting in there deciding my destiny pretty much. So after my walk, I went back into university. With shaky legs, I went up to the administration office to check my grade. They said that the grade is not yet in the system, so I should wait a few more minutes. I think those were pretty much the longest minutes of my life. I was just sitting there and thinking, either I pass or I have to stay in this country for another 6 months. And it was pretty much the scariest thing that happened to me. So I was waiting until the admin lady calls me up in the administration office to tell my grade. And I can see that she's really sad. And I think for a second my heart just stopped. And then she looks at me and she tells me, "I'm sorry, unfortunately you only got a D for your thesis movie." And I just yelled, "Yes!" I could see that she was really shocked because I don't think anyone ever has been so happy about getting a D in their thesis, because the grade D is almost the lowest one that you could get and nobody should be so happy about it. But the D also meant that I passed, and that means I'm graduating. And I was so happy. I've never been so happy about a grade D, but that meant I passed. That means I'm graduating. That means I'm out of here. I was so happy. That was my proudest moment in the university, getting the D and getting out of there. So in 3 weeks they told me that the diploma is ready and I can come and get it, and they said that if I want I can come and get it in the summer in the graduation ceremony with the rest of the people. And I was like, fuck that shit, I'm taking my diploma. So I dressed up, went to Estonia, got my diploma, and here it is. And that's the story of how I almost didn't graduate from my university. And this time, the viewer of the day is a YouTube channel called Decade to Freedom. They make videos of how they're gonna sort their life in the next 10 years, and they're really honest about why they are on YouTube, so that's cool. So thank you guys for watching my videos and leaving awesome comments, and I wish you the best luck with your channel as well.
now I have to clean up my house and edit this video together. So thank you for watching this video until this point. If you did, if you didn't, well, you didn't. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was interesting, and I'll see you in the next one.